G'day and welcome everyone. We are just so excited today. We have got the fabulous Alex and Sharon in front of us here today from Beauty PR Pro in California. Oh my goodness, we've just got so many questions for you today. Thank you so much for joining us.
Pleasure.
It's our pleasure. We're excited too. Thank you very, very much for inviting us.
Our pleasure. Look, we have got a number of questions that we know our viewers out there are just dying to ask. You know, PR seems to have a little bit of a mystery about it. Wouldn't you agree, guys?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think there's one thing that I really desperately wanted to ask you is, and I know it sounds, we've all got this sort of assumption we know what PR is, but what exactly is PR and what does it mean for a salon and a stylist?
Well, I would like to take that one, and it seems very complex, but it's actually very simple. Public relations is a way of building awareness of your salon, of your services, of your team, and what you have to offer before your target audiences, whoever that is, your client or industry, wherever you want to get the word out of who you are and what you do, what you're all about. You just pick your target audience and you go to where they live. You figure out what do they read, where do they go? Do they go to Facebook? Do they go to So Magazine? And your publicist, us, will work with that media to let them know what you're on. I think today a lot of salon owners and stylists wonder why they're not famous. They see everyone else in the news, in their local paper, in the magazines, on TV, and they say, why do they get all the publicity? What about me? Why am I not famous? So the simple answer there is you just have to let the media know that you exist. Start there.
Right, cool. Thanks for that.
If I may, let me add one more thing. PR is storytelling.
Okay.
And right. Story, as we were chatting before. Crafting your story. Everybody does things. A stylist does hair. There's more to a salon or a stylist than just what they do. There's a whole story there. And what we do is help somebody find a unique part of that, to create the story, to craft the story so that it puts words into other people's mouths, gives them things that they can say, that you want them to say, and then they can tell others that very same phrase.
Awesome. If it is storytelling, why would I work with a PR company rather than do it myself?
Good question. I say the answer to that is being objective. Professional publicist or PR team can come in and see you as a salon owner or a stylist objectively. Very often we are journalists ourselves, or that's in our background. And when we come in and meet you and see your business for the first time, or see more objective, we're on the outside looking in for the first time. And we see where your talents are. We put the ego aside, shall I say. Sometimes we think we're very interesting. So we'll come around the other angle and determine what's really newsworthy about you. There might be something there that you don't even see that's worth telling the story that we're talking about to the news.
If I may. Also, we're very familiar with having a conversation with an editor on your behalf, to talk to a newspaper, to talk to a TV segment producer. They all have different needs and wants, and most stylists just don't know what they are until they've done it for a while. And as we'll probably talk about later, every relationship comes to an end. By the end of the relationship, the stylist, the salon owner, knows how to do this. It's not magic.
Yeah.
Okay, that's really interesting. So is there a point at which a salon or a stylist may be at in their business or career where it would be advantageous to get you on board? Is there a point that is really necessary, if you like.
Yes, I would say one main point is when you're launching a new salon, a new business.
Okay.
Right at the point of launch. Another time is when you've been established for a while and business is just down. The staff is not motivated. Other salons are taking your clients or taking your staff.
Or taking your PR.
Or again, you're not in the news. You're not there, but everyone else in town is. Why is that? So it's a very good time to, get your move in the right way, or refresh your existing salon message. When a salon has PR, everyone gets motivated. When a PR team comes onto the scene, we have seen this with our clients. The staff gets motivated. Oh, we've got, publicists working for us to get our story out. They get motivated. As a result, their clients get motivated because they sense something exciting is happening in the salon. And the owner gets motivated. The owner sometimes looks for ways to motivate their staff if they're good at their job. And public relations is, I would put it as almost 80% of the job of public relations is internal. How it motivates the staff from the inside out.
Yeah, cool. So yeah, just do you see PR as marketing, or marketing as part of PR, or is PR just something that is better or bigger, or marketing on steroids? I don't know. How would you describe PR of the peer?
Great question.
Very.
If I may.
Sure.
PR is an arm of marketing. It's only one piece.
Okay.
When you sit down, you do a marketing plan. That's going to involve your advertising, your public relations, your salon promotions, all the things that you're going to do during the year that's going to cost you money and time and thinking and meetings, and you balance those out. PR is a slice of that, and it has to fit and time with everything else that's going to go on. Father's Day, Mother's Day, Christmas, yada, yada, yada.
Yeah, cool.
Brilliant.
Right. Yeah.
I think also, to your answer, Dave, is that public relations was never really meant to stand alone as a service.
Okay.
Sometimes we think that's all we need, but it really is in context all these other aspects of marketing and sales. It's really a support vehicle for your marketing and sales goals.
But I'm sorry.
Yep.
But don't think that PR has to sell your product. If you do, you're making a mistake. That's not the job of public relations.
Right.
Public relations is there, remember, to tell the story. Your story, the salon story. It operates on another level. As part of the story, you're going to mention things along the way that are stuff, but you never lose your focus on what the primary job of public relations is.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I like what you said about how 80% of it is actually in the salon. I mean, and that's where it all happens, isn't it? Because if there's nothing happening in the salon, then you've got nothing, there's no story, I suppose. There's just nothing. It's an empty shell.
Yeah,
Exactly
you
right.
can't pay us if it's not going on.
Exactly.
I think there is a way for every salon to get started, even if it's a small way. It doesn't have to be a big way that brings that motivating factor into the salon. You can start small, be creative, just be expensive, and there are ways of getting started so you get the feeling of what PR is all about. And if you like it, you'll budget more for it and do more. But you can get started at any time. It's actually easy and fun.
So with that in mind, for example, if I was a new client and I come to you guys, what happens at the beginning, and how should we be prepared, or how should I be prepared?
Well, that's a very good question. I think the first thing is spending time on the phone or a personal meeting. Love those personal meetings because you get to know each other. You get to hang out for the day. You get to learn everything. You get to meet the staff. You get to talk about everything that's on your mind. Meet the dog. Introduce yourself to the wife. you start to become part of the family at that point. Now, how do you prepare? You collect all your stuff. We want to see all your toys. What do I mean by that? Any biographies that you've got in the drawer, stuff that you wrote, stuff that somebody else wrote, photography collections, your hair work, the salon image, the artwork, what have you done, what kind of coverage have you had so far, what would help tell your story that you could give us, because we're going to take all that and munch on it. So, what are your goals? Why PR? What do you want? Are you looking to become an educator in the industry? Is that your focus? Is that an important goal? Are you looking for public relations to help you bring more clients into the salon? So, do you want more industry news coverage? Got to know that, because everything we do is predicated on your goal. So, excuse me. That's it. And the last thing is money.
That's right.
You need a budget.
Yep.
And you think about that, and you have to be honest about it. And you know, some people will say, I'm sorry, I can't work for that amount of money. Others will say, okay, well, let's see how we can make this work.
Yeah.
And so don't think that you make one phone call, because you're going to meet somebody and you're going to hear them on the phone, and they're going to go, well, like a New York agency will go, oh, we're $10,000 a month, and sorry, you're too small for us. And so you're going to shop.
Following on from that, how do you charge for PR? Do you work on a retainer? Do you charge by the work you do?
The big question.
Yeah. You know, what's it going to cost me as a stylist or a salon owner to get a PR team together?
$10,000. You're too small.
Well,
Go ahead, why don't you
I'll
go?
start. We work two different ways. We have a monthly retainer under our firm called Esche and Alexander. Esche is my last name. Alexander is Alex's first name. And that's where we probably work in a broader way with our clients, and do perhaps a larger plan it out, and strategize with them. What might this year look like in your business, and how can PR fit in and support your goals?
We become part of the team.
We really
for a period of time.
we kind of get married to them. We're really part of it.
And you get everything for one price.
Exactly right.
Good.
And so we find that we have a minimum price for a big manufacturer or a salon, or what the market will bear. We really try to work with our clients. We always say we're not cheap, but we're not out of sight either. We're like right in the middle. We work well with our clients that way.
Let me throw a couple of rules of thumb. Manufacturers can range, depending on what they want to do, and from $3,500 up to $7,500 a month. Salon, $2,500 a month. Salon group, maybe a little more, $3,000, $3,500. It really, what do you got to spend? It really boils down to
And
the
what
same
do you
thing.
need to do?
Do you want to buy the car? How much do you want to sell the car?
Exactly.
But that's a rule of thumb. I'm sorry.
Right, and we try to keep it in perspective. Some want to be on the cover of Vogue immediately, be on Oprah, or to be on the cover of Soul magazine. That's their fantasy, that's their dream. That's our job to try to make that happen. And others just want something small. They want ideas about planning an event or connecting with a charity or something specific in mind. So we found by talking to a lot of salon owners, especially a particular group, the American Board of Certified Hair Colorists in LA that meet every year there, They told us during our PR classes that we had for them every year, they told us, we love you, but we have a hard time affording you, but we want PR. So we came up with another business model called Beauty PR Pro, where we charge for a project or a bite-sized piece of PR.
PR a la carte.
PR a la carte. If they need a press release written, or they need a PR plan, or an event to do, or just spend time with us on the phone brainstorming, or they need a release to be sent out to the press. All these things are bite-sized pieces that can afford, and that's where we start with them. And again, to give them what PR is all about. Chances are they love it, they get comfortable with it, and they realize, hey, this is a sister service to marketing, advertising. I want to do more with PR. And so they branch out, and sometimes they wind up hiring us on that monthly retainer basis.
Okay, nice.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
That's brilliant. You know, that actually makes me think about the Salon brand. Am I right in assuming that a salon or a stylist would have to be or understand their own brand quite well before they come to you, or is that something that you help them work through?
That's exactly a perfect example of what we help with.
Okay.
They have their own distinct personality. Crafting the story, that's where it comes back to. And storytelling, that's the brand.
Sure.
Creating the brand, creating the story.
Yeah.
So we work with what we say famous salons. We work with the best and the most well-known who need to go into a different direction or take their image or become known for something else. Or we work with the complete unknown, not established, no brand, no nothing. We start with them to help build that, to define who they are in the eyes of the media.
What do I have to start to do in order to appear in the industry magazine? How do I go about doing an effective photo shoot if you've not done one before? Yeah. These are things, these are not God's gift to stylists. It doesn't come with birth, that knowledge. So you go out and you rent it, and that's what we do.
Yeah.
I would say there are two areas that our clients usually need a lot of help with, whether they own or not. One of them is photography, doing a hair fashion shoot, with like a Gary Lyons. You know, again, where do they start? It goes hand in hand with PR. That's why we work so much with Gary and other photographers, because we give this sister service of mutual benefit. He does the images, we do the copy. We develop a point of view. What do we want the image of that salon to be? And, you know, what are the words that describe who they are? And what should the imagery be that reflects that particular salon? It's an interesting process, very, very fun.
What is that collection called? You know, the world lives on sound bites. So you need to come up with, you know, color blocking. Oh, color blocking, that sounds very interesting, you know.
Yeah. But salons often send in photos to you, I'm sure, and other magazines, with just, here are my photos, I did this, and that's it. The other half of that is the description, the you know, putting them into writing context. What's the name of the collection? Why is it named that? What's the theme? What are the names of the different looks in the collection? And what are the techniques that you use to get that look of color or cut or shape? So there's part A and B of every hair fashion photo shoot. The copy, description, and the actual images. And when they go together, you have a beautiful collection that an editor loves to receive. You put all the thinking for them. It looks beautiful. It sounds beautiful. And the job is to inspire them to print the work of that stylist or that salon.
Right, fantastic. Cool.
Yeah.
So now just, probably a little change of pace here. You know, social media and before and after shots, you know, are they, you know, where are they now? You know, I mean, you know, there's so much in social media now. You go into just about every salon, they have a before and after shot. Is it the new in, or is it new out, or where are we?
Yeah, trends are dangerous. Social media is dangerous. Yeah, it is new. And the problem that we often see is that people are very unbalanced in what they're doing because you need a foundation upon which to stand. Social media is built on this foundation over here. So you need your television, you need your magazines, you need these are the things, this is the fodder for what you're doing effectively on social media. As well as, now social media is a time monster. Anthony will eat you alive because you have so many things that you could be doing in social media. Well, okay, well, I'm going to be over here twittering for a while, and I'm going to be over here, I'll be on Facebook, I'll be saying all these things, and interesting, and I have a lot of followers, but, each one is an area of expertise on its own. Don't try to be all things to all people. You don't have the time, and you don't have the resources. Or you're going to hire specifically a social media agency to handle all of that aspect. Because that's what they do, and they will spend the time for you on Facebook and Twitter and or LinkedIn and yada yada. And there are strategies, and that's something else we bring to the party. There are things that the stylists are social media, but and we're happy to share those, and we're happy to participate in those. Matter of fact, we're working with someone right now. Well, I'm not even gonna, it's a long story, but it's a great story. Some other time.
Now you've piqued our interest.
If your question is,
Dave.
Dave,
Yeah. I was just about before and after shots. You see a lot of them in social media. Just your
Are they
opinion
old
or
or
what your
new?
thoughts. Yeah.
I would say to that the before and after shots are, the before and after shots, again, I see more value to just beautiful finished hair rather than the before and after. When I think of before and after, I think of makeovers.
Yes.
And makeovers are always popular, and they never go out of style on TV. But I think for social media, there's nothing like seeing the finished hair work of a stylist or a salon. Nothing like it at all, and some copy. Being the writer, I'm sure there's one or two of you in your group that does most of the writing. Being the writer, I never like to see anything go out without words, So, but however brief they need to be, But so the before and after to me is not of great value. And also to add to what Alex was saying about social media, is that sometimes we think we have to make the decision, do we do all social media because it's cool, this is all we do now, or do we, what do we do? We have to be on Facebook and that's it, Twitter. It's really a balance of both. The foundational public relations, getting out those press releases to the magazines, the local newspapers, the weeklies, they're all reflective with that because you want your clients or your peers to see your name everywhere. Suddenly, I'm seeing I'm seeing Cell magazine everywhere lately. Over here in my weekly newspaper, over here on Facebook. They must really be doing well. The perception of success really growing. Boy, look at that, And so that attracts new clients and new customers. So I think that there's a good balance of being traditional or foundational PR with social media. When you get that balance right for your business, it's a winner. But I don't think it's a case of either or. You need both.
Mm-hmm.
Save the before and afters for the client book.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right, cool. So the traditional media, how do you see that faring with social media? Just where we're going with newspapers and television. How do you see that?
They've been hurt.
Yep.
Their advertising revenues have been hurt. So they're getting more creative and they're making better deals, but they're not going anywhere. and people do read. Look at the newsstand, Glamour, Elle, Mademoiselle, all the staples are still there. Modern Salon, American Salon, still in print. The magazines are still viable. They sit on the client tables in the salons, and they're on, they're in everybody's house and in the new supermarket check stands. So,
and there's a whole generation of clients, be they 40 or 50 and above, that hang on to that newspaper article, hang on to that hair picture, and they save it and bring it into the salon, and they don't do that with the social media. It comes and goes. Yeah. So again, I guess collectively you need it all.
The paper generation is alive and well.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, they're still growing trees, aren't they?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Can I just ask you, what is the biggest PR mistake that happens out there?
Before and after shots. No. Being unprepared when lightning strikes.
Okay.
What I mean by that specifically, they're working very hard to get the attention of a reporter, of a magazine editor, a newspaper editor, and suddenly it happens. And they start asking them questions that they don't have the answers for. Well, what do you see in going on today in hair or fashion is the question. And they start to stammer. And they don't speak concisely on a question that is clear. I mean, of course that question is going to be asked. There are a dozen of them that every reporter is going to ask you. So those should fall out of your face like, So
to that point, I would recommend, getting that script down, maybe getting a little bit of media training. Your publicist can help you do that. If you can't take classes, we work with our clients one-on-one. We're the people who, we pretend we're the interviewer, and these are the questions that you're going to get. And you need that answer, readily at hand. And being on TV or talking to a reporter is very much like talking to your client. If your client asks you, what's new for fall and hair and cut and color, you could answer that so quickly it's unbelievable. When they do, it's hard. So you need to get used to speaking in a different medium. So media training, everyone needs it. I don't care who it is. Everyone needs a bit of media training.
Cool. See that, guys? You need media training.
Yeah. I was just telling him the other day.
Yeah.
I'll sign them all up straight away.
Yeah. I keep telling them,
Sharon, it was hard, your question about what's the biggest PR mistake.
Yeah.
There are quite a few.
Yeah.
And we laugh when we think of them, but another one would be just to give the process a chance to work. Sometimes we don't give the PR process a chance to work. You can't be famous overnight, and you can't be on Oprah or the cover of Vogue in 2 weeks.
impatient.
Yeah.
Impatient. You have to give it 6 months to a year at least to even get into the groove of PR. Get to know it a little bit. It takes time, and it's different for everyone. But I'd say that's a big mistake, that there's nothing like an overnight success. It doesn't exist. And the other one is to remember who you were before you started writing press releases. Remember who you are always, because the press releases that go out and the publicity that you get don't make you any better or any different. You're still the same person. Your ego doesn't need to get out of hand. You need to remain who you are, true to who you are, and your salon and your staff.
It happens all too often.
Yeah.
Believe their own press.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We see it all the time.
And I'll throw a third big one in. Being less than professional on social media. Remember, your mom, your future wife or husband, your employer, your future employer, and everybody else in the world will see every word you write because Google has it. So everything about you, don't put anything into print you don't want your mother to see.
That's good advice.
That is great advice.
Yeah, superb advice.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, how would you go about growing a company? You know, say for example, there's a salon, and they really want to grow themselves. What would you say the sort of the stepping stones? Because we get asked this a lot. You know, I get lots of emails from people just saying, you know, how do I grow my company? How do I get out there? And I can remember asking the question myself.
Well, let me start by, we're not salon consultants. Marketing has a number of aspects, and I know you have more to say on the topic. But we try to confine ourselves to what we do best. Now, we know a lot of stuff, but growing a salon business, there are some real experts out there that question probably be best aimed at. But I know Sharon has a thought.
Well, Dave, I wanted to ask you, do you mean from the PR perspective, the role the PR would help with?
Yeah, pretty much, because just growing the PR from within the company, because you get salon owners sitting on there doing the before and afters. They're starting to spend money on Facebook ads and all those sort of things. But what's the real way to do it?
Here's where I start. When I ask this question, a salon owner or stylist really needs to step back and think about it, because they're never asked the question, and that is, what is your fantasy for your business? What is your fantasy? Devil may care, makes no difference. If you could have anything, what do you want your business to be? You see it in 10 years, what do you want it to be? And from that outside point, we start and we back into now. And we say, in public relations, there are many things PR can do for you, but what are the things right now, like the top 10 steps that we believe PR must do for you? What must you do right now? Forget Oprah and Vogue. The very basics to start creating awareness about your business, your team, and you, and your goals. And so we talk to them, we just say, just talk to us about your business. What are your dreams? What are your problems? What are your challenges? What's your budget? What's your image? Who are you? What do you stand for as a salon business? Who in your industry do you admire most as, an example of a successful salon, or a great educator, if that's the route you want to go, or, a great stylist who's doing things the right way? Vivian McKinder would be named here often, and other names that we know. And, very often we've heard from, many, I want to be Vidal Sassoon, I want to be the next Vivian McKinder, Trevor Sorby, Nick Arroyo, you name it. And so sometimes they overshoot those dreams, but we boil it down to what it is that they're really saying. A good business, they want to earn money, they want a staff that respects them, they want to be in, the industry to trade with their clients to love them and their business to grow and to be happy. Not a lot of them are looking for complete stardom. They just want a good, viable business.
Some are.
Some are looking for stardom. Some are. But the owner, very often, it's the owner that's demotivated.
Yeah.
They need outside people to talk to. That's sometimes why we get along so well with them. They're very alone with their problems.
Lonely at the top.
Yeah.
Lonely at the top. And they feel like they're caring for, a family of people who act up. They're so stressed. And so how do you take the stress off the owner and motivate them? They're not motivated and feel good, things will not go forward. So we find that PR and awareness of their business somehow in strategic ways really gets them to look outside and have hope that they're going to grow and be happy and have a great business. So the very basics, we write a press release. Who's your audience? Who are your clients? Where do they live? What do they read? Are they on Facebook? Are they local weekly? Where do they come from? What do they read? What do they do? That's where we need to get to them. We ask them about maybe having an event at their salon. That's something that often gets them going. To bring people together under their umbrella at their salon, so that they're offering the community something that brings them into their world. How do you invite the press, members of the local media, to come into your world, your salon, to get a service done? And it's just a matter of creating awareness.
I just wanted to jump on event and say one thing. Cut-a-thon. Die, cut-a-thon, die. So old. Events should be new and exciting and interesting for both the staff and the clients and and cut-a-thon is like.
Another idea would be to connect with a charity locally, but maybe ask your stylist, your staff, what charity shall we support? Get them involved in, and then how shall we support them? What shall we do? Maybe the clients have an idea of the charity they'd like you to support. And, meet with the local charity organization and plan something with them. Maybe have an event at your salon that you do with them for that charity. And they'll do some PR for you, you'll do some PR for them, and it's a nice partnership for the right reason.
Brilliant, absolutely brilliant answers, you guys. I know that you've given so much information there and so much food for thought. I've just got one question to ask you, and that is, how do our viewers out there choose a PR company, apart from you, of course? What do they need to look for? You two come with an absolutely huge realm of experience, both in the industry as well as PR. So how does someone who doesn't know much about that world find someone that's going to suit them?
Why don't we explain how people find us first? How people find us, and we take them from this.
We're out there on our blog, so out there on Facebook. We're also out there after 30 years. People tend to know who you are in this industry. This is a very small industry. And you know who the good guys are. You know who the plumber is you call. And, there's of people who really know beauty and really know this business. And how people find us is by coming to the blog at beautyprpro.com, or by going to our website at beauty-pr.com and picking up the phone and having a conversation.
Lovely. And can that be anyone in the world? Or do they have to be in the States?
Yeah. No, it can be anywhere
Anyone in the world. And we work with clients around the world.
Okay.
Those phone calls to Australia are very expensive. Since technology today has allowed us all to be much, much closer.
Yes.
And it's broadened our marketing horizons. And part of our excitement at talking to all of you is that maybe somebody in Australia is sitting asking these questions and saying, darn, I wonder if these people can help me. And Skype is that. Yes.
Also, Karen, to your question, if you just went to Google and typed in beauty and PR, or salon PR, you'll see the names of various agencies pop up and, tell you their services. And we find that, those who really want to pursue PR just pick up the phone and call that agency. And that's how we get a lot of calls. They're just kind of exploring. They're trying to find out, be educated. And often we'll refer them to other people because it might not be what we do, or we can tell they need something different. Some salons are looking for more celebrity or entertainment-based PR, or financial PR, or consumer PR only, or they don't have a big budget, or they're just really trying to find out the basics without making any commitments. So we spend a lot of time educating them about what we feel it is they need and how to get started. There are other agencies that do that as well. You have to pick up the phone and call them. And just start from there. Tell your story. Here's what I'm looking for. Here's what I want. Can you help me? And if you can't, what should I do? Can you steer me to the right person?
Call 6 different PR agencies.
Shop around. Because you might think you need a big agency, a small agency. Bigger is not best. Small might be too small for your needs. Really just shop around. We encourage everyone who calls us to do that. And you have to look for the right dynamics with those people, with your team.
I like to say, shop with your mind and your belly button.
Nice. Yeah.
Well, figure that if you call an agency, we've heard this before, and you get someone on the line, as Alex said, well, we cost this much, and how big are you? People in our industry, the professional beauty industry, walk away feeling less than. They feel treated like small business, no one cares, and then by the time they get around to us, we give them hope. Like, it's okay. Small is okay. That's all right. Okay. You don't have a lot of money. That's okay. But you have to realize that your PR representative is out there in the community or with the press representing you. They're your ambassadors. Do they know your business? Do they understand what it is you're trying to do? Or are you just another client for the agency? More money. Another statistic to put on their roster. So do they care about your business? Do they understand your business? Do they represent you well out there in your world with your contacts? Do you have a good feeling about them? Are they team-oriented? Does the dynamic feel right? Because you're going to get married for a while, right? You're going to date and then get married. And you want it to feel right and feel part of the team. And your staff has to feel good with them. It's not just you. Because we interact with the staff stylists as well. As you said, Alex, it's educating yourself, doing your homework, matching it up with your belly button. If you spend enough time, you'll know who that team is for you.
Brilliant. That's fantastic, don't you think, guys?
Hey, it's really opened my eyes up to what PR is. It's very different to what I thought. And, it's great.
Fabulous.
Yeah, that's excellent, yeah.
Well, I know our viewers are in for a real treat when they see your interview and of course, read the article. So, look, thank you so much on behalf of everyone at SO for talking to us from the other side of the world. And how wonderful, like you say, is technology that we're able to connect on such a basis. And like you say, now that we know one another, we're all best friends. So we'll be talking again, no doubt. And
Thank you so much.
We love
really
your
appreciate
magazine.
the opportunity. You guys are great, and you're doing a wonderful job.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you.
thank you so much.
Yep.